Welcome to the Kool the Kareem Matthews podcast. I'm Kareem Matthews, and I'm here with my boy, my Ramley point guard extraordinaire, Mr. Rodney Lusain. What's good, my dude?
I can't complain, Playboy. You good?
Yeah, man, I can't complain either. You know what I'm saying? Had a good weekend. Had a good weekend. We got the W yesterday in our little league. But what I wanted to talk to you about was the weekend in the NBA, the basketball professional all-star weekend. What they're taking a lot of incoming, man. Like no one, I mean, overall, I would say they're getting a D as a grade. You know what I mean? It's not been a positive response. Like I'm a hoop head, so I can always find something good in any hoop, even bad hoop, you know what I mean? But the general public was not feeling many parts of it, what were your thoughts
Yeah, man. I can't. It's a trip because I guess All Star Weekend's in LA next week
next year?
and or next year. Right. And when they announced it, I was with Lennon, and she was like, "I want to go." And
Mm,
I looked at her, and anytime she says she want to go, I'm usually like, "All right, I'm gonna try to find a way."
right,
When
right.
she was like, "I want to go to NBA All Star Weekend next year," I gave her the driest look, like, "Girl, please." Like, first of all, you didn't even watch the All Star game yesterday. And second of all, that shit is so whack.
Mm.
Years
It's
past.
funny. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was
My
just
bad. Go.
saying, in years past, like, I enjoyed yesterday more than I've enjoyed a All Star game in a minute.
The actual game.
Right. I mean, some of the weekend, I you know, I didn't watch. I'm usually down with the Saturday night. Like Saturday night, it's a trip because actually Friday night's kind of my favorite night of the weekend. Like I like the
Mm,
celebrity game.
right.
Um, the Rising Stars. I don't really watch it, but sometimes, depending on who's in it, I might peep. But it usually go from Friday nights to best, Saturday nights to second best, and then Sunday is just trash.
Right. Nah, the Sunday is usually a letdown, no doubt about it. No, and it's funny though because that's that's kind of my take. Like the fact that Lennon was like, I want to go to All Star Weekend next year because my whole thing has been like All Star Weekend is really about the weekend, like the ancillary stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, the general public can't afford to go to the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They were saying yesterday the cheapest ticket to get in was 1,000
Damn.
to get in. You know what I'm
That's the
saying?
Bay Area. The
I
Bay
mean,
is
LA ain't gonna be much better. You know what I'm saying? Like the get in ticket is gonna be pretty high. So I feel like the
it
game
is.
is always kind of out for the general public. But the shit around the weekend, around town that weekend is what makes it popping, what makes NFL, I mean NBA All Star Weekend to me one of the funner weekends. Because I remember when it was in LA, not the last time, but the time before that.
Hmm.
And I went to this party at the Pacific Design Theater, and that was one of the best parties I had ever been to, dude. Like it was just Karl Malone, Gary Payton, just dudes just walking around in their open bar, like, and I feel like that's the stuff that Lennon wants to be exposed to. Not like she can go to bars, but like
Right.
those kind of activities are what I think makes All Star Weekend the shit. You know what I mean? Like the game, of course, they don't know, they can't figure out what to do with the game. You know what I'm saying? Like the game shouldn't even be, you know what I mean? Yeah, we know the game is trash, but like that weekend, and especially for it being in LA, I feel like it's gonna be. I'm hyped about that part. You know what I mean? And that's why I was like, damn, they really down on the All Star Weekend. But the NBA gave them reasons to be down. You know what I mean? I feel like it's become a thing where you got to be a real niche fan to like it. For the general public, it's you don't, you know what I mean? They give you so many reasons to hate on it because they act like they don't care. You know what
Right.
I mean? About about the game, the dunk contest, about the actual activities. They care about the parties. You know what I'm saying? They show up to those.
Right.
You know what I mean? With no problem. They don't talk about they tired for that or we don't want to be at that. They just don't want to participate in the actual basketball activities, which to me is like I don't understand that. You know what I mean? They talking about they don't want to get injured. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, when is the last time somebody got injured in an All-Star game?
Right.
I mean, I feel like Kobe broke his nose, but that's because he was going at D Wade. And then he didn't even care.
Right.
Like, he wasn't like, I broke my nose. I'm out for 3 weeks. He finished playing in the All-Star game. You know what I'm saying? So, that part about them getting injured, I'm like, huh? And then someone else brought up a good point. All we asking y'all to do is, because Dame Lillard was like, it's too late in the season. Dude's already been playing like 50 games. We worn out. And somebody was like, all we asking y'all to do is play an extra half of basketball. Like, everybody only going to play 20 minutes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's too much. Like, we're not asking y'all to play a series. Like, y'all probably, them 3 games that y'all played yesterday is probably more than you would have played, you know what I'm saying? And just one regular 20-minute just play, you know what I mean? I mean, not even like super hard, just competitive.
Right.
I'm like, I don't understand why that's so hard. Like,
nah, I hadn't heard that. But to me, like
wait, what part? What part?
About Dame.
Oh yeah,
Dame
right.
essentially saying it's too late in the season. Basically saying like we want the All-Star break earlier.
Or yeah, right.
To make it like really a midpoint.
Right. Right. Because he said it's way past the midpoint of the season. He mentioned that too, but I don't understand that's not gonna make them play harder though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I remember All-Star Weekend being in January. Like, it's kind of moved with the Super Bowl. And I feel like they got a great spot. Like, I think that's kind of what we coming off that Super Bowl high. So we rolling into the next Sunday, like looking for something. And All-Star Weekend's like, okay, here you go.
Right.
And it's on a 3-day weekend. Like, to me, the NFL, I think, is going to come for this weekend. For like President's Day weekend, like, the day after Super Bowl needs to not be a work day.
Nah, they had talked about that, moving the Super Bowl to where it's this weekend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So after the Super Bowl, you got President's Day off, that Monday off. They've talked about that.
Right. And, because I feel like it used to be, the Pro Bowl used to be, I don't know why the Pro Bowl used to be after the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I felt like after the Pro Bowl came the NBA All-Star game. And it was just like, so I don't know. I feel like if the NFL come for President's Day weekend, which I think they should, unless they're going to move the Super Bowl to a Saturday, it's like this the perfect weekend. Like, figure it out. I don't know if that 18th game, when that come in, like, whatever
because that and an extra bye is 2 more weeks. The extra week, the 18th week, and a bye week is 2 more weeks to push it to this weekend.
Okay. And so once they come for this weekend, then the NBA All-Star game is going to be what? The last week in February or early March?
Nah, I think they need to go the other direction.
But see, then you got to find a Sunday where the NFL ain't dominating. Like, it can't, even if it's week 5 NFL, like whatever week it is NFL, NBA All-Star game ain't getting no shine.
Nah, that's a good point. And it's funny though, because you were saying how after the week after football, and then it's nothing, we looking for something, and then the NBA has that. They spoke on that, and it was like the NBA has that, all them eyeballs, and then they give us this. You know what I'm saying? They like, if y'all gonna keep the All-Star game like this, have it earlier, and then this week it be headbanger games.
Right.
Y'all already back going, and then we giving y'all headbanger. We giving y'all OKC and the Lakers, and you know what I mean? Like we back full speed ahead instead of coming up with this. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because like you said, it's that momentum of okay, it's nothing this weekend. So it's on y'all to give us something, and y'all give us this. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't figure out the All-Star game, damn, y'all want it earlier. Okay, we'll have it, you know what I mean, earlier. But then when this weekend comes, then it's, we in the headbanger games. And like Michael Thompson made a good point of once football is over, they need to move the games to football time.
Mm.
The basketball games, instead of having Sunday night still 6:30 Laker games and shit, move them to 10 and noon and you know what I'm saying? On Sundays, like it's meat on the NBA bone that they not taking advantage of. They really acting like it can stay like this forever without them putting in effort. They don't remember the 80s. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? When people wasn't fucking with the NBA, it was like on tape delay because all the players was doing coke at halftime and shit, smoking and drinking in the locker room. And they not doing that now, but it's the same attitude of like, we don't give a, you know what I mean? Like they gotta keep their eye on that. Like, because they don't understand they making their money off this TV deal. Like that's how y'all have these fat ass contracts is because of these networks paying the NBA. So if y'all putting a faulty product on TV, which they said the All-Star game and the playoffs are what these companies are paying for. You know what I'm saying? So the playoffs are fine. They don't need to do nothing with that. You know what I mean? That y'all bring it for that. But the All-Star game, like and it's crazy because they sat the players down before this weekend to tell them the importance of playing hard in this weekend. The NBA did that. And then LeBron doesn't show up. Or he shows up to say he ain't playing.
And Ant-Man did the same thing.
Right. Well, Ant had been hinting that he wasn't going to play. You know what I'm saying? Ant didn't just pop it to people on Sunday. Bron basically told people an hour before the game he wasn't playing. And then he wasn't there all weekend.
Mm.
Like he showed up on Sunday to say I'm not playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's whack on so many levels. Like they could have gave that spot to somebody else. And then the way the format was, it was only 8 dudes on each team. So his team ended up only having 7 dudes.
Right.
Because you know what I'm saying, it was no time. And then they were saying how some dudes get bonuses for making the All-Star team.
Mm.
So if he had said I'm not playing, even you know what I mean, a day or two ahead, they could have put somebody else on the team. Because Norman Powell, he was already there for the 3, and dudes had been campaigning for him to get in. Like they wanted him in over Harden.
Right.
As the one Clipper representative. And he was already there. You know what I'm saying? So he could have easily got in if LeBron had given them a heads up of even a day. You know what I'm saying? And they said he did have a bonus in his contract. He
Damn.
had an all-star bonus. I don't know how much it was, but he would have got money if he had been an all-star. You know what I'm saying? So, but I feel like a big part of why the NBA is where it is because of LeBron and because of stuff like what he did on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of how the players feel and act now is because of that role model. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Nah, I tell everybody like I blame LeBron. Like whoever the top dog is, that's who they gonna follow. And even when it was Kobe, like I felt like the All-Star game wasn't the All-Star game has gotten progressively worse. Like even when Kobe was the top dog, like yeah, they went a little bit harder, but it's still, and maybe it's just because I grew out of it. Like some of that mystique was gone. But for sure, what's going on under LeBron's watch? And it goes all the way back to him never ever being in the dunk contest. Like
That's what I was gonna say next. He killed the dunk contest. You know what I'm saying? And that started it. Nah, I was waiting to say that, and you said it. Like him not being in the dunk contest was like the first straw. You know what I'm saying? He's the first big star to not do it.
right.
And then since him ain't one done it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean when Dwight Howard is probably the biggest star to do it since
But I
him.
mean, he wasn't like a one of under LeBron though. You know what I'm saying? Like he was his own. He was more like under like Shaq,
Right.
Dwight. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He wasn't looking at LeBron for no like guidance.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
I'm saying like since LeBron like no Ant, no Ja, no Zion. You know what I'm saying? Levine and Aaron Gordon was the last legitimate one to me. Like when theirs, I thought, ooh, where can the dunk contest go from here? Because they was doing some stuff you had never seen. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
But that was just on quality of the dunks. That wasn't necessarily because they was top notch players. Like I mean, it was Dr. J, it was Jordan versus Neek, like it was
No,
Kobe. I mean,
no, Vince,
right. If you the top dude in the game and
T
dunking is
Mac.
part of what and dunking is a part of what you do, then you need to be in it. And so Levine and Aaron Gordon was dope, but they wasn't all stars. Like they
Right,
was there specifically for the dunk contest.
right,
It
right,
used to be I'm an all-star. I'm in the game tomorrow, but I'm in the dunk contest tonight.
right. No, at least once.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? At least once. Even Kobe did it. You know what I mean? I
Right.
don't nah. I mean, yeah, it's just and now they mad. Like Draymond talking about how the game sucked. And that's a whole like y'all they paying y'all to promote the game. You know what I'm saying? And you come on saying that, and then it's like, okay, yeah, it sucks, but that's because of y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Right.
now it sucks
Right.
because y'all don't want to go hard because y'all don't want to be in nothing, but now y'all want to criticize it. Like,
And it's a trip because Jalen and Vince Carter, who was on the TNT, broadcast with Draymond, they wasn't co-signing at all. Like they wasn't speaking the opposite direction. But when Draymond said what they said, you would look at Jalen or Vince to see if they gave any reaction. And they was
mm,
just stone faced, like, dude, what are you doing? Like,
right now, because they want to keep their job. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Because I mean, I know TNT couldn't have been happy about that.
right. Yeah.
Like we already having issues, and you just come on here, you know what I'm saying, on a scale of 0 to 1 to 10. What is highest? 10. Well, this was a 0. This sucks. And I mean, again, he had some points in there. Some of the stuff that he was saying did make sense, but that was not the place to air that out. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to talk to the TNT heads about that. You know what I mean? Because he was talking about like the records. Like nobody can't go after all these scoring records that Jordan and Kobe and all these dudes set. Because now the game just goes to 40.
Right.
He was like, I worked all year to become an all-star, and then I get to go on the floor with the rising stars. And I mean,
Which is
again,
true.
I was about to say again, you can't argue some of those points, but I just feel like that wasn't the platform, you know what I'm saying, to get that off. Maybe you do that on your podcast,
Right.
not on your boss's show. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
I was like, man, and this is part of the reason why, if you're not a niche fan, you wasn't fucking with them this weekend.
Right. Nah. Or like you said, take some accountability. Like if they had just been like, look, dude, all right, we played a role in this. Like I see the NBA is trying to do anything they can to salvage this weekend. but it's because we left it in a bad place that they got to
Because of
try
the
some
last 20 years, we have given y'all nothing. You know what I'm saying? And Draymond, that's your whole career.
Right.
You know what I mean? You completely a part of this from beginning to end.
And it lays at the feet of your boy,
Nah,
LeBron.
right, right.
But you
Nah.
don't want to go at him. So instead, you want to go at the Dalton
The
Connect.
format.
Right.
LeBron ain't playing today. You don't have no comment on that?
Right. For the first time in his career.
Right.
I mean, and maybe it was a protest. Maybe he was just like, look,
Protesting what?
the format. If he felt
Mm.
the way if he felt the way Draymond felt, like, yeah, this ain't it. Like, I ain't going on
He
the
didn't
floor.
even dress.
Right. Because it was a trip, because Dalton Connect was obviously one of the rising stars, and people was
Mm.
like, that's going to be a cool dynamic, seeing Dalton Connect go against LeBron. But,
Mm.
I can see
Mm.
LeBron being like, dude, what's going to be on camera? Like, really? Like, if I go out there and lose, then
Oh,
what? If I'm out there playing and killing and dunking, they're gonna be like, all right, I mean, you doing that against I can't even name none of the other rising stars. I know it's dude who finished second in the dunk contest, but whatever. I mean, the OGs, the first squad that played against the rising stars, like they had nothing to gain, everything to lose. And them ain't the kind of positions LeBron like to be in. Specifically.
no.
Like he feel like, nah, I can't be in them positions where I got a lot to lose, because I got a lot to lose. Like, he still think he in this GOAT conversation, and I guess he is, but you never had to see Jordan playing against them kind of dudes.
Right. No, I get that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so then if that's the case, if he's worried about optics, then why don't you dress? Ant dressed.
Oh,
You know what I'm
did he?
saying? Oh yeah, Ant was in his, had his sweats on and shit. Like I feel like if LeBron is worried about optics, which the way you put it out, clearly he does, then him not dressing was intentional. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like that part to me was very sloppily done or very intentionally done if he really was paying attention to what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Because hour before the game, you say you're not gonna play. Like
Right.
when
Right.
I heard that, when that started coming through, I was like, what? They just had a meeting saying how important this was, but I guess he wasn't even at that because he just got there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Like that's the part to me that was like super disappointing. Like, I mean, Kobe would have never did no shit like that. Like Kobe was going to the All-Star game to catch dudes slipping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking for dudes that's not going hard. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that mentality is totally gone.
It is, and it don't have to be, because, like, with every other league, whether it's NFL, Major League Baseball, like, you've increased the interconference. Like, we see in baseball, you see everybody now. So that's taking away some of the mystique of AL versus NL. NFL, you have more crossover. NBA ain't changed. Like, it's still, you're only going to see the Celtics twice. You only gonna see the Eastern Conference twice. So it's like some of that same mystique that was always a part of it, going way back. Like, dude, you don't get to see Magic versus Bird. You get to see it twice. So if you're gonna give it to me a third time in the All-Star game, I'm all over it. And they still got that dynamic. Like, it's still, you only gonna see Joker and Embiid twice, if that, knowing Embiid. So all right, the All Star game is now going to be your third time to see whatever this East versus West, LeBron versus Giannis. Like, you only, and so that's still built in. Like, Every other league has lost that, but the NBA still got it, and they can't even leverage that.
Man, you've made a great point right there, yo. Like, I mean, I feel like that's it. Like, that's what they need to tap into. You know what I'm saying? Is that because they were using the argument that that was kind of why you don't the interest is gone from the NBA is because you can see all these teams online. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't see these teams on TV back in the day, so it's like you didn't get to see these players. But the point you made about the matchups, like that's what they still have. Like you can't see that online because it only happens once or twice. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can see these players. You can see Darius Garland whenever you want, when you couldn't do that back in the day. But you can't see Darius Garland against Kyrie because
Right.
that's only a twice a year matchup. So
Right.
that's what they need to tap into. You know what I'm saying? And then that goes back to the format. Like
Right.
they need to keep it East West.
Right.
But it's crazy because the foreign players called the American players out. Like they wanted to be US against the world next year, which I feel like is another, you know what I'm saying? At least for a couple years, I feel like that dynamic will work as well because the world wants to beat the US. You know what I'm saying? So the world gonna come out like, okay, the world gonna come out competitive. And I feel like the US at that point is gonna have no choice. But I like your East West highlighting those specific matchups, though. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that is, like you said, that's something that's built in that, you know what I mean? They need to tap into, like that Giannis versus LeBron.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't get to see that all the time. And like Lakers versus Celtics,
Right.
Tatum versus Tatum versus Luca. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's that's what they need to focus you know what I mean? Man, that's it.
Wallace.
Call call your boy. What's his name? What's the not Stern, but
Oh, yeah. Shit.
the
Why can't I remember
commissioners.
his name? Silverman. Adam Silverman.
Adam Silver,
Adam Silver.
Yeah, call his ass because he on the hot seat right now. They eating him up.
Yeah, that sucks because it ain't his fault. Other than him not being able to hold a match to these players. But it seems like he did it this weekend, and LeBron was like, all right, well, how about I don't play at all then?
Mm,
Since you don't like the way I play, then how
mm.
about I just sit my black ass out and see how that work out?
Man, that's terrible because they gonna cut off their nose to spite their face. You know what I'm saying? Like this the next contract the NBA get ain't gonna be like this. You know what I mean? It's gonna be way more stipulations in there. Companies gonna want more bang for their buck than y'all giving them. You know what I mean? And they not asking for a lot. They just asking for y'all to play. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Because, like you said, the rest of the weekend is cool. Like, I felt like I felt like the Bay Area did a good job. And the Bay Area, I mean, we see it. Like, the Bay Area got some good ass fans. Like, whatever the sport is, and hoops, surprisingly. Like, even before Steph and all them, like, they used to go crazy for the Warriors. And
Uh-huh.
so the Bay Area did a good ass job. The halftime show with bringing out all they Bay Area performers from Short to Dub,
40. Yeah.
like it was cool. Like I was like, all right, they coming with it. Like this is a good ad. Like this is damn
It
near
was
Super
enter-
Bowl
it
esque
was
worthy.
it was entertaining.
Right, right,
I felt the same way, you know what I'm saying? And that's why when they with all this heat they was getting, I was like, man, like, I get it from the game perspective and from the shit that the players were doing, you know what I mean? But if you was out there, you enjoyed yourself. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like,
And I
because
felt like the
everybody,
game was better.
huh?
Like the game was better this year. Like I don't know, that format had me. It was more bite sized. So you knew once somebody got up 5 or 6, the other side was gonna have to lock in and respond. Like Cass was going at it. Like you could see the OGs that first game, and Dame even spoke on it afterwards. He was like, "Dude, we couldn't lose to them
Mm.
dudes. Like we had to get out of that game, and just for them to have to feel that a little bit, and you could." Like they mic'd up KD at one point, and KD was on the bench, like, "Dame, hit a shot!" Like same
Mm.
kind of shit you would hear us say to each other.
Right.
KD was on the bench like, "Damn, come on, dude. Like, we
Right.
about to end up losing to these fools." So I felt like the format did what it was supposed to do. Like it increased the competitiveness of the games. And, even though, one of the games was dudes that shouldn't even been there. But I mean, ultimately you got, Chuck's foreign, he damn near had the world team. Like that was his drive when he drafted his team, was like, I'm going for the foreigners. So he had the world and Shaq had the OGs. So we ended up, they could have played that one a little bit longer. Maybe if they went to 50 or 60, but I mean, the game was better and everything else about the weekend. I mean, the dunk contest is dead, but
And I actually thought the dunk contest was cool. Just the fact that they needed a G leaguer to make it cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought if McClung was an NBA player, any NBA player, he'd be getting way more love right now. Because those dunks that he did, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you ain't seen some of them dunks. Like the jumping over the car, Blake Griffin did that. You know what I'm saying? But like,
McClung is what, 6'1"?
right, right. Nah, like he was doing some stuff like he dunked the two balls. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I thought the dunk contest was good, and then Castle was doing dunks good enough just to push McClung.
Right.
Like, yo, I'm doing a 50 dunk too. You know what I'm saying? So you better pull another car out. You know what I mean? Like, I thought the dunk contest was good. I mean, again, it was the game. I thought it was the lackluster Sunday that made everyone think the whole weekend. I mean, I guess Jello too. You know what I mean? People was hating on him performing.
When did he
But
perform? That was before the game?
no, I think that was on Saturday.
Oh,
Yeah, he performed on Saturday. Yeah, yeah.
okay.
I
Well,
want to say like in between the three and the dunk,
I can
some
agree with the haters then. I think
something.
Jello, I think he performed at the halftime of the Lions Commanders playoff game.
Yeah, he
I think
did
I think Detroit was the first one to give him that
that
slot.
kind of look. Right, right. And wasn't they up at the half?
They might have been.
Because I want to say they were saying his performance was a jinx. Like they pointed out all the stuff that happened after Jello took the stage. You know what I'm saying? So they was hating on him getting to perform at that. Like I feel like Detroit was up at the half, and then after Jello performed, it was all downhill. But now they were saying how he only got one song. Like
Right.
he don't even have an album, and then I guess like he performed the song twice.
And the song is trash.
I know. I mean, because they making it seem like they had a part in it going viral. Like it didn't go viral organically.
Who had a part?
The whole Ball family,
Uh,
Lonzo and Lamelo. You know what I'm saying? Because just like you can buy followers.
right.
Like that song didn't just organically go. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like that's how they making the seem, and he only got one song. So
Didn't Weezy did the remix? Like,
of of Lamelo song of Jello song.
yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Weezy, if it wasn't Weezy, it was somebody just below that level. Like somebody stamped it and flowed on it nice. Like it was like,
Uh,
oh.
Is that right? I'm gonna have to go look for that. You know what I'm saying?
But if
'Cause if
Weezy wasn't there, and he clearly wasn't,
right, nah, Jello performed it by himself. I mean, he had backup dancers and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But people was like, that's the closest he ever gonna get to an NBA court. Like it was, they was letting him have it, you know what I mean? And I was just like, man, like I don't know. His transformation, I think is incredible. Like just a few years ago, you know what I'm saying? He was stealing Ray-Bans in China and shit for UCLA. Now this dude's a rapper.
right? Yeah. Um,
But nah, I feel like the game is what it is. But the weekend, to me, especially if you there, like I was hyped when I realized it was coming to LA next year and it was gonna be an into it. And just like how Lennon's like, I want to go to All-Star weekend, I felt the same way. Like clearly I'm not gonna go to the game, but I was like, man, it's gonna be activities that I want to hit. You know what I mean? Like the city, the city is turned up that weekend. I mean, the
right.
game is anticlimactic, but the game is on the last day of the weekend. Like it really starts that Friday night, and people get out here earlier than that. You know?
Yeah. And it's a trip because I was just sitting here thinking, like, all right, LA is gonna turn up, but we've always had a reason to. Like we've always had, Kobe was hosting or Shaq was hosting or
Next year it's gonna be Luca.
right. I was sitting here thinking, like, damn, who gonna be headlining for the Lakers next year?
I mean, LeBron probably still gonna be here, but we're gonna have a whole new year of LeBron and Luca. Like at this point next year, ain't no telling what we gonna look like.
Right.
And it's funny because they were saying the fact that LeBron didn't play confirms that he coming back for another year.
Because he
Because
wants
like he would
to
not
farewell
play it,
tour.
huh?
He
Right, because
wants
he
to
would not play
farewell.
in his last All-Star game. You know what I'm saying? If he knew this was it, he wouldn't have pulled that stunt this year. You know what I mean? So, who knows with him? But that was when I heard someone make that point, I was like, nah, that's
I mean, the Lakers winning it is the only thing that I could see making him be like, all right, maybe I'm a
I'm done.
right. But
Yeah,
outside
which
of that, he gonna hold on. He trying to
and
get
I'm
Bryce in the league.
right. Nah, he waiting for that definitely. And I mean, I don't think the Lakers winning it is out of the question at this point. Like, it's not the favorite thing to happen, but stranger things have happened than that. That wouldn't be, you know what I mean? Because I keep saying Luca carried 4 construction workers to the finals last year. Last year in this same West, the West ain't changed much.
Right.
Actually, it got a little bit weaker because Minnesota don't have them twin towers that they had to put Denver out.
Right.
Minnesota without Cat is not the same team because that's what people point at as our weakness is our post defense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, Minnesota ain't big like they used to be. You know what I mean? So Luca carried less than he has now in this same conference to the finals last season. I mean, I don't know if it's enough time for them to gel and get to where they need to be to get to a finals, but we got more than I feel like Dallas had last year. Like LeBron alone is a bigger piece than what Luca had. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we gonna see. I just feel like when it come down to a playoff series, and you know how them games shrink. It's not about 7, 8 dudes at that point. It's about 2, maybe 3 dudes. When
Mm-hmm.
those games come down to the end, it ain't gonna be Max Christie. You know what I'm saying? Getting the ball. It's like, oh, Max Christie's cool. I wish we could have kept him. But at the end of those kind of games, you want the ball in a dude like Luka's hands, Jokic, LeBron. I mean, you know what I mean? Tatum. Like it's not your third, fourth dude. So yeah, we don't have the depth of some of these other squads. But if we can keep these games close, we I keep saying we see Luka at the end of these games, dude. Like his style is perfect for that. Like he's either gonna get fouled, score, or lob up.
Right. Right.
And you're not gonna stop it.
Right.
Like in the regular season, I mean, and again, like with OKC, that was exactly what happened to them last year. They had a great regular season, and then when it got to the playoffs, Jay is more of a tough tool maker. You know what I'm saying? Not really three. And in the playoffs, it's hard to live off of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Them tough twos in the offs, like that's not where it's at. You know what I mean? And that became they like Shea looked a little more normal last year in the playoffs than he do in the regular season. You know what I mean? Like Ant is the one that stepped his game up from regular season to playoffs, but he added the three though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He even realized that in the offs, you can't live off tough twos. Like the refs ain't gonna bail you out, and the D is more focused on you. You know what I'm saying? So in the regular season, you get to the line on a lot of that shit. That was James Harden's problem.
Right.
Like in the regular season, they're gonna put you to the line, but in the offs, they want to see you make that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like we got the dudes whose game is perfect for that. The other dude is Jokic. Like, he's the other dude out there that's built for that. You know what I'm saying? So, if there's a way that you can not have to see him, you know what I mean? Then everybody else, I'm like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? No one else scares me in a playoff series. You know what I'm saying? Like playoff basketball is different, yo. It comes down to 2, 3 dudes. Like it's really like 2-on-2, 3-on-3. You know what I mean? It's like what your high end talent look like.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm putting our high end talent up against anybody but Denver. Denver is the only squad that I'm like, they high end is higher than our high end because they got a 7-foot Luka. You know what I'm saying? Like he's averaging a triple double at 7 feet. Like anybody else, Luka's like what? And then his sidekick is LeBron.
Right.
His sidekick last year was Kyrie, which is legit. But I'm taking LeBron over Kyrie, and that's what people don't realize. Like LeBron knows how to play that other dude role. He just hasn't had too much. But like in the Olympics, he knows how to let other dudes get theirs off and then get his off when it's time. Like that's exactly what he did in the Olympics.
Right.
Like down the stretch, he turned into that dude. But during the meat of the game, he was letting everybody else eat. You know what I mean? So he can do that. He just ain't had nobody he trusted unless it's all Olympians.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But now with Luka, I feel like it's finally a dude where he's not gonna give that to D'Angelo Russell. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't really want to give it to Austin Reeves. He like, nah, you not quite that dude either. But I feel like with Luka, he like, okay, yeah, like you a dude they actually compare to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'll let the ball be in your hands because I feel like his D stepped up a little bit since Luka got here. Like you see moments where he really trying to get in a dude like he used to. You know what I'm saying? Like he running the floor and letting Luka just dime him up for dunks. Like all that can prolong him. You know what I'm saying? Like that pressure of bringing it up every time. Let Luka do that. You know that can add another. Or if it don't add time to his career, he can be fresh in the playoffs. Because I feel like that's been our problem is he get tired of them. That's why Denver, they came back against us in every game.
Right.
Because LeBron can't do it for 48 no more. Like, he can do it for stretches, but when he do it, that wears him out. Like, he gonna do it and then need a rest. You know what I'm saying? And then if if he got to keep doing it the whole game, at the end, he ain't gonna have nothing.
Right.
So to have Luka there and then to keep LeBron fresh for the end of games, I don't know. I just feel like I'm high on what we can do in the playoffs. I think I'm higher than what people are giving us credit for being able to do. Like whatever happens in the rest of this regular season, I don't know. Like I don't know if we gonna, you know what I'm saying? We playing well right now, but who knows? You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying when it comes down to okay, a team got to beat us 4 times, and this the only team we playing. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't no, it's us and them for whoever win best out of 7. To put Luka and LeBron out,
Yeah, nah, shit. Everything you saying, primarily, the Denver shit. I'm pulling up the standings right now, and if
we fourth.
fifth, half game behind Houston.
You
Denver's
like them?
third.
You
Houston,
trust them?
right? Denver's third, and Memphis is second. So it's like, and that's the thing. Like last year, at the end of the season, we had a chance. I don't know what we finished last season. I think we ended up getting. Did we was
We
in
were
the plan.
playing.
We got
Yeah.
seventh. We got to seventh. We played New Orleans, and
But
so
that's because we won 2 playing games, though, right?
nah. So we finished seventh, and we played New Orleans for the seventh spot. We beat New Orleans, and then New Orleans had to go play Sacramento because Sacramento beat G State in the
Okay.
9-10 game. But it was like last year, if we had lost to New Orleans would have been seventh and had to play Denver. And then we would have been in a winner take all game for that eighth spot. And I guess that
Against Golden State?
it would have been Sacramento
Mm.
to get that eighth spot, which would have been much better, but you don't necessarily want to be in that one game scenario.
Right.
And so it's like this year, it if it played out to where Denver stayed third, and Denver probably gonna end up getting the second spot. They only a half game behind Memphis, which means all we got to do is avoid being seventh.
Mm. Nah,
I mean,
that's not going. We moving up, I think.
right. Well, we 3 spots clear. Minnesota's the seventh spot right now, and we 3 games ahead of them. Dallas is eighth. Sacto is 9. G State's 10.
And the Spurs, right? Spurs is 11.
The Spurs is 12th. The Spurs,
Who's
they 3.5. Phoenix is 11.
okay?
The Spurs is 3.5 games behind G State. Sacramento's the team that look like they gonna fall out, and so who takes their spot?
What number are they?
They ninth right now.
Mm. I don't think they gonna fall out.
Sacramento?
Yeah, I like what they did. I mean, if they had to get up off of Fox, like keeping Fox would have been optimal.
Right.
But Levine and DeRozan, they coming. They played together before. They was with Chicago.
Right.
They killing. They score well together. They know how to play off each other really well, and then they move Monk to the point.
Right.
Monk run point now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't. I've been keeping my eye on them because I like them in fantasy. They got a few dudes I fuck with in fantasy, like Sabonis. You know what I'm saying? So they haven't really fell off as much as you would think losing Fox because they
Right.
brought in Levine, who's he a 20-point scorer himself. Like they're not really missing Fox's points. And Monk moved to the point, which I think was a real underrated move. I didn't know that's what they was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So Monk ain't scoring as much. He
Right.
still scored though. You know what I mean? So that's allowing DeRozan and Levine to eat.
Mm. Well, yeah, if you feel like they not gonna fall out, then
The team I think is gonna fall out is Dallas. I keep telling y'all because AD is hurt.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
AD is out. They don't know how long AD is out. You know what I'm saying? So if all of a sudden they get nothing for Luka, at least for the rest of this season, are they a playoff team? Man, because that's why I asked you about San Antonio. I feel like they gonna move up. I don't know if they can get in it, but they gonna come on the rest of this season. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Fox is gonna jail with them, and what Castle have All-Star weekend for Castle is gonna boost him up.
Mm,
Like those environments always help young players when they go back to like they regular. You know what
right.
I'm saying? They it takes a step up. You feel more confident about what you can do. You know, I think Phoenix can fall out.
Yeah. I can see that happening too.
To me, Phoenix and Dallas are the teams that can fall out, and I think Sacramento gonna stay where they at, and I think San Antonio has a chance to move up. Like the NBA would love to see Wemby in the play in at least. You know what I mean? Like they need that. You know what I'm saying? More than they would need Phoenix in there. You know what I mean?
And you heard Draymond say Golden State's gonna win it this year.
Did he?
He did.
The whole thing?
That's the other shit he was talking about on the All Star show. And of
Wow.
course, they sitting outside the Warriors arena, so everybody out there was riding with him. So he could have just been playing to the crowd. But the dudes up there, Jalen and Vince, was like, "You sure you want to make that statement?" And he kept doubling down, like, "Yeah, we gonna win it." And I mean, he was just on one yesterday. He was talking about how he's an alpha and Jimmy Butler's an alpha and how two alphas, and he's like, but I can also follow, so I'm gonna follow Steph and I'm gonna follow Jimmy Butler, and we gonna win it. Like he was guaranteeing that G State is winning the championship this year.
Wow. I mean, I can't expect him to say nothing else because he's on the team. You know what I'm saying? But on paper, they don't have enough. Like I hope
They're
I hope that
candidate to fall out to me.
yeah, right, right. Nah, that's one of the mixtures that could not go well. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's enough volatility there for somebody to scrap. You know what I'm saying? Like they got dudes that shown I will scrap with a teammate. You know what I mean? So it could work, but the chances of it not working are just as high. You know what I'm saying?
Because Jimmy Butler ain't like that.
Game wise,
Right. He
right.
ain't impacting like that.
In
He
the
ain't
playoffs, he do,
right.
but they got to get there. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. They old. Like that's when, to me they similar to Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? Like Phoenix, KD, I mean
We're
Book ain't
fast.
old, Beal ain't old, but they seem old. Like they not like a younger squad. Like, I don't know. I mean, we old too, don't get me wrong, but it's LeBron. You take LeBron out the equation, we actually pretty young, you know what I mean? So
Right. Well, I feel like the way this gonna play out, Denver gonna end up being the 2 seed, and all we got to do is avoid being the 7th. The Lakers
so
avoid
who's
being
three
7th.
right now?
3 right now is Denver, but they're a half game back of Memphis.
So you say they catch Memphis, so then Memphis will be three. Who's four?
Houston.
Houston, and then we're five.
Right.
I think we could.
Basically, Lakers is 3 games behind Memphis and a half game behind Houston.
I think we could get to the three.
Mm.
OKC, Denver, then us, and then that would be Memphis and Houston after that.
Right. And the Clip join us 2 games back in the 6th spot.
Uh, hey, the West is loaded. We ain't even started talking about all the teams you just listed that was at the bottom, and we already at six.
Right.
That's
Nah.
without that's without Dallas, Golden State, Phoenix.
Minnesota.
That's 9. That's 10 right there. 6 plus those 4.
Right. Yeah. I
Now it's
mean,
about to be a dogfight the rest of the way, yo. You know what I'm saying?
anything that avoids the Lakers having to play Denver
To the
and
finals.
till the finals, right?
Yeah. To the
If then,
Western.
if
So you saying they get knocked out?
yeah, I mean, it would be nice if OKC could find a way to have to match up with them
Mm.
because
Okay.
OKC got 2 footers, right? I don't know that they
Yeah.
built to.
Holmgren, and Harkenstein.
I don't know if they built to deal with Joker, but
I mean, that's my thing. No one is built to deal with Joker. You know what I'm saying? Who can say we Minnesota from last year? That's because they had 2 7-footers. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that no more. Like, and that's why people always say y'all ain't got nobody for Joker. I'm like, no one has anything for Joker, yo. Like, no one in the league is comfortable saying we stop Joker. So, like, that's out. You got to figure out what's next. You know what I'm saying? And other than that, to me, it's Luka. Luka's the 6'8" Joker. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like it's going to be Denver against whoever. And I feel like that whoever is going to be us. I don't think Denver's getting put out until the Western Conference Finals this year. Like, to me, Minnesota was the squad that was built for that, and they're not built for that no more. Like, I respect OKC because it's the second regular season in a row that they did what they're doing, but I don't fear them at all. Like, I feel like the way they built, like Shea's cool, but I feel like that tough 2 is a regular season thing. Like, that is so James Harden to me. Like, I feel
yeah,
like in the playoffs, if you a 2 scorer, it gotta be easy 2s, like a Shaquille type. You know what I'm saying? If not, you got to hit 3s now. Like, that's what Boston just overwhelms you with 3s.
right.
They're like, we gonna shoot 83s. You know what I'm saying? And hope we make 30 of them. That's 90. You know what I'm saying? And then we gonna sprinkle in enough 2s that we gonna be at 110.
Right.
Like, that math, you know what I'm saying? That math is killer. Like, I feel like it leaves OKC having to make too many tough 2s every game, you know what I mean, to put you out. Like, and that's what Luka brings.
Right.
Luka, like, look, I'm gonna hit, you know what I'm saying,
Nah.
X amount of 3s, and I'm gonna get my dudes X amount of open 3s. I'm gonna get Austin Reeves, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just creates the easy score for everybody. Like, Austin Reeves, you're gonna get wide open looks. Jackson Hayes, you're gonna get like 3 or 4 lobs, and then I'm gonna hit like 6 or 7. Like, the math on Luka puts your team to like 80. You know what I'm saying? Just on what he do. And
Right.
then that just makes it so much easier to get to 110. Like, you know what I mean? Like, LeBron is like, I got 20. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just me hanging around, you gonna get 20 more. Like, I'm telling you, it's gonna be the equation of how he scores and how he scores for other people in the playoffs is gonna be real delicious.
Mm. Hey, I'm here for it.
Nah,
And
man,
what got us on this was the idea that if the Lakers win it, LeBron retires. Possibly. Like, that's his
right,
only out for this season.
right. That's the only way he don't come back next year.
Right. If it's just like this perfect ending that's like, come on, LeBron. Like,
What
this
else you
ain't
want?
right. It ain't gonna get no better than this.
Ronnie got in. Ronnie played in the closeout game, LeBron. You gotta retire.
Right.
Nah. I mean, again, it's not the favorite scenario. Like Vegas don't have that as the odds on, but can see a world where that can happen. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, Denver is the hurdle. And I mean, Denver is the hurdle for everybody in the West. Ain't no team like we want Denver. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a 7 game series with them, is where I feel like it would come to a head. And they got the dude that nobody can't stop, but I feel like we got the mini me of him. We got the 6'7" Jokic. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? The dude that averages a 30-point triple double. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Joker is. He's a 30-point triple double. And Luka's like, I'm a 30 and 9 and 9. You know what I'm saying? But I'm bringing LeBron with me.
Right.
Like, I want to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
That's the series I want to see. Shit, damn. We had an hour already.
Yeah.
And before we go, I want to just talk about some of this Ram. I know this is a hell of a switch reel, but before time runs out on us, this Ram off-season talk.
Right. I'm sitting here looking at an article that the headline is Rams and Matthew Stafford didn't make much progress in initial contract talks.
Mm,
That was from today.
mm.
Um,
Okay, because that's what I'm hearing all this about how Stafford's not gonna be back, and I'm just like, how is that even an option? They're like Stafford to the Giants.
for the third pick, dude.
Oh nah, was it for that?
That was what I had been hearing. Like that's what
Uh,
the Rams were saying they would want back.
I
And
didn't
for a
hear it was gonna.
while, it had legs. For a while, people was like, okay, like this ain't a quarterback draft. Like you get why the Giants would do it. Like this third pick ain't as valuable this year as it might be in another draft.
Mm.
But dudes on ESPN this morning was like, man, stop it. Like the
I
Giants.
didn't hear. I didn't hear they would give us that because I heard they wanted Stafford and Cup. And like Neighbors was co-signing on it. Like Neighbors was all over social media saying, "Yeah, bring them two in here." You know what I'm saying? I did not hear them wanting to give us the third pick. That definitely would make me think about it if they want to do that, because we could get one of them QBs at 3.
Right? They were saying the scenario I saw was Rams get the third pick and trade back, which I'm like,
Wow.
whatever. Like
We
if
would get the third and trade back.
and acquire more picks.
If we got the third, I would want one of them QBs. I would want Shador or Cam Ward. I wouldn't want to get the third pick, give up Stafford, and then trade back and not get a QB.
You wouldn't want Travis? Because that's who Lennon wants.
Travis Hunter to play corner.
Or receiver. Or both.
Mm,
He addresses two needs.
mm. Actually, but then what do we do at QB?
Ah,
Because I was hearing Aaron Rodgers,
yeah.
and I was like, no way, yo, that's too radical. Like, because people was making a point of how close we were to being the champs. Like how we played Philly, like no one else played them like that. I don't think we need a radical change. Like I don't want to come up off Stafford. Like for the third pick, that makes I didn't know it was that pricey. Like we could get that for him. But I'm like, yo, we need to just re-sign him and run this back. Like we was that close.
But once again, what are you resigning him for? Like,
Money wise or
yeah.
like
He wants,
market value.
which is I think the top three quarterbacks is damn it.
Dak,
Who?
Dak,
Dak, Jordan Love, and maybe Trevor Lawrence.
Mm.
It's the top three paid QBs. So then Matt Stafford's looking at them like, okay, I'm killing all of them dudes.
Right. Like, I mean, we can't make him the top paid. I mean, come on. And I feel like he know that. Like, I'm saying another 2-year deal, and I'm like in the 40-50 range.
Right.
What was he this year?
He was, I think they said 45.
Okay. I'm willing to do that or a little bit more again for on a 2-year deal. Like similar to what he just came off of, but just boost him up a little bit more. I mean, we can't do 60. We're not putting you up in the DAC range. But I feel like our young, inexpensive D allows us to go with Stafford for
Right.
1 or 2 more years till we start having to pay those dudes. Then when we having to start paying those dudes, when Verse and them come up, okay, now we can't pay you this no more, Stafford. But for one more run, I feel like this young, inexpensive D allows us to pay him.
Yeah. I mean,
Like that's what I want to spend the value of this young D on. Because of them, we get to spend on something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people talking about Miles Garrett. I'm like, no, like that's he don't. We got the young D. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep the let's keep our QB, and maybe we can spend on a receiver because they were saying Devontae.
Adams,
Yeah.
him saying he want to come to a West Coast team.
Did he say that?
He
Because
did.
he's from Fresno.
Right.
I mean, like re-sign Stafford, bring somebody like that in. Because I mean, I feel like I want a burner, but I feel like we ask too much of our receivers for a burner.
Mm.
Like we don't one trick ponies don't really we don't play one trick ponies at receiver very like that's why Tutu, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta block, you gotta you know what I mean? You
And
gotta
Deshaun
catch,
Jackson.
huh?
Deshaun Jackson also
Oh,
didn't
right,
last long.
right, right. And that's kind of what had me pump my brakes a little bit about Tyreek.
Mm.
I still want Tyreek, but I feel like the fit wise, like Devontae seems like more of a fit for what we do. You know what I mean? Like what we ask our receivers to do. Like I would love a burner. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like we ask a lot of our receivers, especially to block. You know what I mean? And most burners ain't gonna be trying to block. Like
Right.
Deshaun Jackson wasn't trying to block. Tutu ain't trying to block. But I could see Devontae is big enough where even if he's not a blocker, he can get in front of somebody. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I don't want to get rid of Stafford.
Yeah, it's unpopular opinion on me. I don't want to get rid of him either, but I feel like he's left a lot of meat on the bone these last 2 years. Like,
So what are you thinking about for QB then?
I hate to even say what I'm thinking about because it sounds so
Nah, I want to hear it.
blasphemous in my Stephen A. Smith. I mean, I've said Carson Wentz. I've said Daniel Jones. I mean, I could maybe see a Sam Darnold. I'm I'm a lot more in McVay's corner in this.
That you
You
think
got.
he can cook with anything?
I do. I think he can make. I mean, we got to a bowl with Goff. As much as Goff,
Goff was the number one pick.
he shouldn't have been.
He was over Wentz, who you
Right.
want now.
Right.
Of the three you said, Wentz is the only one I would even consider because we just had him.
Right.
and he's played at that level.
Right.
So
And
that's the
he's he's Goff's age. Like he's
right. He still should have meat on his bone. And he's had a couple seasons where he hasn't had to play. And
right.
he was just in KC, right?
Right.
So he's coming from another QB centric system. He's the one that you said that I would be like, ooh, okay, we may still be able to cook with him. Them other two dudes, nah, man. And I'm just like, we too close. You know what I'm saying? We not far away, yo. Like one more draft, and I feel like we in the bowl next year. Like, so to tweak QB in a year from now, I could be ready to be like, yeah, Daniel Jones, shit, let's change it up. You know what I mean? But from where we were, like with effort, like you know what I'm saying? I mean, if Wentz could come in and do that, so then what else do we do though? Because that would allow us some sort of flexibility to do another. You know what I mean? I feel like that has to come with another power move. Like it has to be like Wentz and Saquon or something. Like,
No, and that's Chase.
uh,
That's young
okay,
Chase.
okay,
We gonna buy you out of Cincinnati. Like I
okay.
can't tell because they keep linking us to the other dude from Cincinnati, the other receiver,
Higgins,
Higgins.
Higgins.
They
Mm,
keep linking us to him.
uh,
He's a free agent now.
yes,
I
yes.
think Chase ain't like
But he don't have a contract though. Like that's why he was trying to hold out. He
don't
held out.
right. I don't. I think they still got some options on him. Like they can still franchise him for sure.
Well, they gonna franchise. They can have franchise Higgins because they said that's what they gonna do with Higgins because they franchised him last year.
Okay,
Higgins,
you can only do it twice. Right.
right? So they saying they gonna if they gonna do that again with him minimum because that allows them time to do a contract with him. So I don't think you can franchise two dudes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Because
You
there
know
is
what I'm
something
saying?
under the franchise.
Huh?
There is something under the franchise tag. Like there's another tag
Mm,
you can put on to somebody, but
mm.
that one pays. You don't get top 1 year money for whatever that other tag is.
Tag is
They
called
did
right.
that to Chase. I mean, cats don't like playing under the franchise tag.
Anyway, right, right. And
Um,
Cincinnati don't have money like that. Like they had to sell naming rights on the stadium just to pay Burrow. Like that's how they got the money for Burrow was naming rights. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like at some point they gonna lose somebody, and whoever they lose, we need to scoop. Because even if it's that white end, Hutchinson,
right. Nah, it ain't Hutchinson, but I know
Hendrickson,
who you
Hendrickson,
right, right, right.
all three of
Nah,
them need to get paid.
right. Okay. You ain't saying you want Hendrickson.
Nah, nah,
Okay, 'cause
nah. But
you
I'm
saying
just
you
saying,
don't want Miles.
whoever they lose, you know what I'm saying?
Well, nah, I mean, like I said, you keep saying we just need one more year, and I feel like all we needed was one more drive. These
No.
last 2 years, all we needed, Stafford, was one more drive. And so, I mean, if we had the arbitration table and
Well,
he
you think
said
we was one drive away in the Detroit game?
2 years ago in the playoffs,
Yeah, yeah.
we lost by a point.
Mm.
We had the ball at like they 35 yard line
Because they knelt us out that game.
because we punted on like a 4th and 4 from they like 35. And our
Mm.
kicker last year was worse. I can't remember who dude was.
Right.
He might have
Okay.
already missed a field goal. Like we had a long field goal for game.
That we didn't go for.
Right. And we didn't
Mm.
and we didn't, we didn't even go for it on fourth down. We legit punted, I want to say.
Right. Nah, because
We
I
might have
feel
gone.
like
We might actually. I might have to walk that back. We might have gone for it on fourth down rather than kick the field goal. And he
okay,
tried to hit Puka, and Puka got interfered with.
but
Couple.
they didn't call it.
Right. Right.
Because I feel like
Yeah.
we took a step forward from the Detroit game this year.
Because
But
we
I
won.
guess
We
from
won a
what you
playoff game. No doubt.
okay,
We
yeah,
didn't win
yeah.
a playoff game last year.
Right, nah, okay. But I'm saying as far as like how the Detroit game ended, I feel like this year how it ended was like one step forward from that. Where but you from the point you made, we was still one drive away in that Detroit game.
Yeah.
But I feel like this last playoff game, we literally legitimately was like, you know what I'm saying, our last drive, nigga, for game. You know what I mean? So I feel like one more step, you know what I'm saying, this next season with another draft. I mean, just like how we built, just how we put it together this year with this draft fit perfectly with last year's draft to make our D what it was. Like now, I feel like we focus a little bit of that on the O in this draft, a receiver, a tight end, and that corner from Florida State. And I feel like we take one more step, you know what I mean? And maybe we have home field this year. Like we ain't got to go to no snow team. Like
Right. Nah, like I said, if I'm sitting at the arbitration table, if I'm the Rams and I'm sitting across from Matt Stafford and he like, I'm better than Dak, Love, and
Lawrence,
right. Then my comeback to him is like, but we've also built this team around you and had you in advantageous positions where we just needed you to finish one of them drives. And we ended both seasons with the ball in our hands in scoring territory, like make a play. And you didn't make the play. And so while you feel like you should get Dak and whoever else money, you know, you got to
make
give us
this
a discount.
45.
Right. You got to give us a discount because, I mean, shit, we could make the case. We had a Super Bowl team this year. You just needed to finish that drive. We had 1st and 10 at their 20.
Nah, speak on it because I can't argue none of that. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
finish this, Matt. And you didn't. And everybody going to point to the sack. But I'm like, you a veteran QB with a rookie center. So when you come up to the line, you should be part of the protection calls is you too. It ain't all on the center.
All right, nah.
And if your protection call says, all right, I got my center on their best dude,
Who's
then let
been
me
killing?
have my hot read. Like, let me have my hot read on deck. His hot read was Cup. Cup was open, but he want to hold the ball to try to make the big splash play to Higbee. So I'm like, all right, you gambled and we lost. You don't get to cash in max value off of that. Like, there got to be some discount that you trying to slide us based on that. And if you ain't,
You can go to New York.
right, shit,
Nah, man. I need you in the negotiating in meetings. You know what I'm saying? Because I get too emotional. I just want Stafford back. But everything that you just said, I feel like if he hears that, gotta give the discount. But I feel like he should want to do that anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you want to leave this and go to New York for a few extra million? Like, you at the end of your shit. But man, what you just broke down, I'm like, that gives me a whole different thought process because I'm like, yo, did you hear what he just said? Like, seriously, if you had just finished one drive, my dude, like, and he broke down how you should have finished the drive. Like, the protection shit, because we looked at the tape, cut was open.
right,
It's
right,
like,
right. Just take the first down. Still had plenty of time. I think we still
might have had a timeout.
at least, yeah. I mean, and it wasn't even like time was really a factor at that point. It was still over a minute left in the game. So
Right.
go on, get this first down, Cup, and then let's figure it out from there. So nah, I want him back, but if he ain't willing to give us a discount to kind of keep this together and add to it, if he trying to max value his money right now or trying to placate to his wife, who I think is getting him more in trouble than
That
she
she's
realized.
helping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even the herd, he be pretty in tune with the Rams. Like he been
Mm.
on us these last couple of years. He always be like quarterback and coach. Rams is winning in both them categories. So I'm close. I'm riding with the Rams. Like I'm gonna have them higher than everybody else got them. He was like, "Yeah, the Rams is getting tired of this. Like
Mm.
every year, we going into the offseason, and it's gonna happen because he's 37. So I don't know what world you think you're gonna have a 37-year-old QB and you ain't gonna go into the offseason with questions. You're gonna have questions, but then when your wife is
Right.
sitting there just talking about, hey, if we ain't feeling valued, we can
I'm up for an adventure.
right.
Yeah, nah, she needs to stay quiet. But I don't like that part that about the Rams are getting tired of this because we shown we will cut bait. Like EJ, you know what I'm saying? Like like some out of the blue shit.
Golf.
Oh, right. Right. Nah. So
We won a playoff game the season we got
we
rid of
got rid
golf.
of him. Right. I mean, that was never even a thought. Like going into that off season, we were never even thinking like we about to trade golf. Like it's already talk about us getting rid of Stafford. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like the fact that he feels like we're getting tired of this because we've shown we don't really let cancers or things that we think are cancerous stay around the team too long as much as you like them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Nah. And when it was Belichick and Brady, the question was who was it really? Is it really Brady or was it really Belichick?
Mm,
And it was 50-50. And then they broke up, and then you find out, oh shit, it was really Brady. Like it
right,
wasn't Belichick. And I
right.
feel like between Goff, and I mean not Goff, but Stafford and McVay, I feel like it's McVay. Like,
Mm,
I mean, because we saw Stafford have a long ass career and do nothing. You come
right.
to McVay, and then it's like, all right, like you was dope when we got you, but we still gonna add something to you. Like we gonna make you better. Um, so I don't know. I'm just, the people I be hearing, and the herd didn't say this, but I'm at the point where if McVay say whatever McVay say, I'm rolling. If McVay say we don't need Stafford, I can win it with. I mean, because they making it seem like he gonna say we can win it with Garoppolo. Like
Oh man.
if he say that, then yeah, I'm gonna be hot. But at the same time, if he say it,
You're gonna have to give him a benefit of the doubt. No, and because that's how I feel about the draft. Like now, whoever they draft, you got to at least see the dude. You know what I'm saying? You can't just make a rash decision on any draft pick we make. And I mean, McVay does kind of get that same pass on QB. You know what I mean? But I hope he say I need Stafford because that's who he said originally. Like that's how we got here. Is he was like, I can't win with golf. Let's go get Stafford. So I feel like I hope he's still on that. I need Stafford. You know what I'm saying? Because again, if he say that, then that's what we rolling with. You know what I'm saying?
if he say that,
Right.
I feel
Right.
like he might not be saying that. I feel like
Mm.
he might be like, look, dude,
We've had enough.
I put your ass in I put your ass in positions like
The last 2 seasons. Nah, when you brought that up, you can't fight that either.
The shit you did in the Super Bowl was great, but I put you in them same positions these last 2 seasons with more. Like you was doing that. I don't
With
even know
one
if
receiver that they knew you was going to.
and Cam Akers. I don't even did Higbee play? I mean,
Mm.
dude, that offense that he limped across the finish line against Cincinnati was anemic. Cam was the running back, or Sony Michel. I think Sony Michel was our leading rusher that year.
Mm.
And was probably our leading rusher that game.
Mm.
So Sony Michel and Coop Cup.
Right, nah, because Higbee was out because it was them young tight ends.
Right. Right. It
It
was.
was all them young tight ends.
Right.
Damn.
And so these last 2 years, we put you in a fully stocked vehicle and just needed them drives out of you. And you couldn't get it done. And I could, McVay, when he done with you, it'd be subtle. It'd be subtle. Like it don't be the shit that everybody else be seeing. Cause they made it seem like he got cool on golf earlier that season.
Mm.
And remember, we went to Wolford.
In the
Golf
in
got
the
hurt, but we went to Wolford, and then when Golf was ready to come back, he still went with Wolford.
mm.
And
And
then
then Wolford got hurt.
early in the game, right?
Right.
And then Golf came in and won it, and that next week in Green Bay, he was cool, but he wasn't on Aaron Rodgers level. So I don't know. I feel like when McVay is done, he be done, and it'd be subtle, like you said. It'd be out the blue. It'd be like, damn,
He was done?
right, right. And on that draft
Man.
pick, because they was like the last 4 times the Rams have had a number one pick, a first round draft pick. The last 4 was Aaron
First.
Donald,
Mm.
rookie of the year. Gurley. Actually, was Gurley his next one? Yeah,
Gurley
Gurley
wasn't
was his next one because I'm thinking, what's the little dude from West Virginia?
Tavon.
Right, Tavon was before them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Then was back to back drafts. AD and AD was the second first round pick that year. Like we had the second pick.
Oh, and took that old tackle.
Right. So they forget about him. But anyway, it was AD, Gurley, Goff, Verse. Them our
Mm.
last 4 first round picks. And 3 of them won rookie of the year. And the 4th was Goff. So we cook with them picks.
Nah.
And
I
so
don't.
they all get the benefit of the doubt right now. What let's say he see, we roll. What McVay say he see, we roll.
Right.
And hopefully Stafford is in that same mindset of, all right, I'm rolling. Like whatever Les, Sean, whatever y'all see for me, what this, because the Rams, they don't screw their players. Like even as much as people are saying we did whatever to Cup is highly compensated. Like this ain't a Dickerson situation where Dickerson's leaving. Like, man, fuck the Rams.
I never got paid.
Right. Cup is paid at the top of the market for
Right.
receiver.
Nah. And we said we're gonna send him somewhere he wanna go. Well, not somewhere he wanna go, but we're gonna try to find a soft landing spot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So nah, we don't. I feel like we're gonna do right by Stafford. I feel like it just has to be what he wanna do. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't gonna overpay. But I feel like he got to understand that. He been here long enough to see how it worked.
Right. Right.
I
So
don't know, man. I just feel like I hope this is just all off season talk. Like people need something to talk about, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna throw y'all up in the mix. And I hope we keep our calm heads and just do the right thing, you know what I'm saying? And nothing too radical. We're not at the radical stage, man. We one of the 4 teams going into next year that's bold contenders.
right. Right. All that. So I'm down. I'm down. I can't believe we can have this convo. And that's the thing. Like when we had convos about the Rams, we be on point. Like it don't be we end up getting just tea leaves from other places that just confirm that yeah, we wasn't far off. Like the stuff we
Right.
were talking about was the same conversations they was having. And I can't believe that you and me could sit here and be saying the stuff we saying and Matt Stafford ain't having them same conversations and feelings. Like, dude, where am I trying to go? What am I trying to do? That ain't here.
Nah, and I feel like just how you conveyed it to me, that's how McVay and them gonna convey it to him about them drives and shit and what you didn't do and how you try to price yourself out. You know what I'm saying? So nah, man, yeah. I hope things work out. I hope things work out. But shit, I feel like this is a good place to wrap it up, man. We got a good hour and a half in on this one, and we finally are able to just complete one. You know what I'm saying?
No
So
technical difficulties off on my computer's like, all right, dude.
right now, I'm about to say, so since we have a chance to end one, you know what I'm saying? I say let's do that. You know what I mean?
Yes,
But
sir.
y'all got any games this week? Any high school games?
Yeah, San Pedro High, first round. We found out we're the fourth seed in Division One.
Mm.
So we play Laces on Thursday night. Kind of
This
mad.
Thursday?
Yeah. Thursday. We trying to figure out what time. We trying to push for a night game, but LA Unified don't like night games.
Mm.
So it's
So it's
looking
gonna be a home game though?
yeah. We'll be home for the first two if we can win Thursday. We'll get another one on Saturday. So big week for San Pedro Hoops.
Okay, well, yeah, that's what's up. So check for that this Thursday, San Pedro High. Check on their website for the game time. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes,
should follow me on social media. I got some shows this week too. I can't even think about where they at, but just look on my social media. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, thanks again for doing this. We're gonna do it again soon. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Rams all day. This is Kareem Matthews. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. This has been the Cool. I'll holler at y'all. One.